Doctor Strange's Chiwetel Ejiofor has officially joined the cast of Venom 3. Most likely, he will become the main antagonist of the movie, but let's talk about everything in order. The third Venom is scheduled to premiere in October 2024, but due to filming delays, the premiere may be postponed. I will follow the news. Right now, I will tell you everything known about the threequel, new symbiotes, Spider-Man, and the mysterious villain played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. Let's start with the production status. The main star of the Venom 3 remains Tom Hardy, and this time he not only played Eddie Brock, but also co-wrote the script. Kelly Marcel, the screenwriter of all Venom movies, as well as 50 Shades of Grey and Cruella, has been appointed as the director. The script itself was already ready in June last year. It became clear when Hardy posted a photo of the title page. I hope this time they pay more attention to the quality of the story itself. Honestly, the plot of the first part was ambiguous. The sequel turned out completely useless with a terrible script, and it's a shame that Carnage debuted on the big screens in just such a movie. Therefore, I personally look forward to working on the mistakes in a threequel. And if we talk a little more about the plot of Venom 3, it's worth remembering the finale of the sequel. It ended with a fight between Venom and Carnage. Venom eats the red symbiote and decapitates Cassidy. After the battle, it turns out that Detective Patrick Milligan survived, although he suffered terrible injuries. He opens his eyes, which glow a bright blue. And for Marvel fans, this was expected, because in the comics, Milligan was a cop who becomes the host of another symbiote, Toxin. So this scene clearly hints at the future appearance of him as a new key character. And Stephen Graham himself is listed in the cast of the third film, so we can say that Toxin is confirmed, but Venom 2 wasn't Eddie Brock's last appearance. We saw him in the post-credits scene of No Way Home. As you may remember, Eddie and Venom have fallen into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They are confused by what's going on, and Eddie cooks up an idea. He should go to New York and speak to Spider-Man. And yet, before he can make his way, it seems that Doctor Strange's latest spell takes hold, snapping them back to their own universe. And yet they leave a little surprise behind, a generous dab of Venom's dark, sticky alien matter. So this scene opens up interesting possibilities for both Marvel Studios and Sony. Having a multiverse allows studios the freedom to use different characters. Thus, a piece of Venom gives hope for a new host in the MCU, which could be Peter Parker or Matt Gargan. And Sony, in turn, can easily drag its own Spider-Man into the Venom franchise. Fans have long been theorizing that Andrew Garfield could return to Sony's Spider-Man universe, and to be honest, I agree that it would be exciting. My dream is to see Garfield and Hardy face off in a battle. A movie like that is guaranteed to blow up the box office, and Sony should listen to the wishes of many, but I personally think that we won't see Peter Parker in the third Venom, despite the fact that many insiders have been saying since the beginning of the year that Tom Hardy was able to come to a deal with Sony about Spider-Man. This is directly confirmed by several insiders, including Daniel Richtman. If you refer to their sources, the Venom threequel explores the multiverse, and that Spider-Man will definitely appear in it, but which one is not specified. It's for the best. Even if Sony decides to add him at least in a scene after the credits, then let there be at least some intrigue left. I personally think that Eddie Brock will have to fight with Parker sooner or later, but it definitely won't happen in Venom 3. In my mind, it should be a separate movie, which will be entirely devoted to their confrontation, because in the threequel, we will already have a bunch of villains, which I will tell you about right now. It has been revealed that Orwell has become the working title of the third Venom, and this is a strong hint that the main antagonist will be Orwell Taylor. He'll be played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, best known for his role as Baron Mordo in Doctor Strange. It looks like Sony will be bringing a non-symbiotic villain into Tom Hardy's franchise for the first time. He was once a general in the US Army. Orwell had two sons, Maxwell and Hugh. As an adult, Hugh got a job working at the superhuman prison known as the Vault. One day during a breakout, Hugh was smothered to death by Venom, but it wasn't on purpose. It's about the plot of the Lethal Protector comic series, where Venom is shown more as an anti-hero than a villain. Tom Hardy loves this comic books, and the first movie was also based on stories from this series. Anyway, as a result, Orwell Taylor vowed revenge on Venom for killing his son. He formed a group of super soldiers equipped with stolen Stark Industries technology. He named this group the Jury and made it their mission to kill Venom. The Jury was led by Orwell's eldest son, Max, and the rest of the members were friends of Hugh. They used battle technologies and were equipped with very durable armors. One day, Jury caught Spider-Man accusing him of being the cause of Venom and forced him to help them destroy the symbiote. Yes, the story may be complicated, but now we're interested in two things: Stark Technologies and Spider-Man. They played key roles in the plot of Lethal Protector comic series, and it goes without saying that we can dream of such a thing in the third movie. True, these dreams will be shattered if we remember the sequel, where from Carnage, who had no morality in the canon, differed from many Marvel villains precisely in that he stupidly enjoyed maniacally killing people. And in the movie, they made him a kind of crazy Romeo in love, who is ready to do anything for the sake of his woman. I still think Venom 2 is one of the most disappointing movies ever. Sony should have given it an R rating and hired more experienced writers. Yes, the Venom franchise is basically low budget, and it's unlikely that the studio will allocate additional millions for a threequel. So most likely, the long-awaited crossover with Andrew Garfield will not take place in the new Venom. Of course, I was expecting a more epic villain like Null. However, Orwell, Taylor, and Jury are much more interesting than they seem. In the comics, Orwell partnered with the Life Foundation, which carried out illegal experiments on symbiotes back in the first movie. Eventually, they succeeded in creating more advanced species with unique abilities. A yellow-red symbiote called Scream, a golden-black one called Phage, a green with sharp tentacles is Lasher, and a purple is Agony. In the movie, Orwell can use the scientific and financial resources of the Life Foundation to endow all members of Jury with these very symbiotes by the ending. Then we get to see a massive final battle, 5 symbiotes versus 2, Venom and Toxin. Yes, rest assured that Patrick Milligan will side with good, that's how it was in canon. Meanwhile, Orwell can bring up the consequences of the symbiotes being on Earth, because in movies they left behind a bunch of corpses and destruction, so the government will take action to find weapons against them. This will be taken advantage of by Orwell, who will tap into his connections in Army and gain a huge amount of support from the government. In the comics, there is a very charismatic politician, Senator Peter Crane. As the story goes, people were scared due to the symbiote invasion, and he used public sphere to gain more influence and power. Senator openly opposed symbiotes and other aliens, not hesitating to incite hatred. He ordered to shoot to kill at the sight of any suspicious activity. His political strategy was very successful. He had a lot of supporters both inside the US and around the world. Many major corporations and politicians supported him, and Venom 3 will most likely show a similar plot, with Orwell receiving unlimited powers from the states to eliminate the symbiotes. It's also interesting what role the multiverse, which insiders write about, will play in the movie. Honestly, I don't believe that we will see other realities. It seems to me that you can only hope for a minimal connection with MCU. Leaked photos from the set show Tom Hardy wearing the same outfit he wore in the post-credits scene of No Way Home. This means that Venom 3 will begin directly from these events. And there were also footage from the filming in the city of Cartagena in Spain. Judging by the photo, part of the movie will take place during the Day of the Dead celebration. We can see graffiti everywhere that hints at this, so apparently the events of the very beginning of the movie will take place in Mexico. Yes, producers have confirmed that Cartagena will represent Mexico. As you understand, Venom 3 will be the next local project from Sony, which will continue the solo story of Eddie Brock. Yes, we can build the theories that we will be shown Madam Web, played by Dakota Johnson, who will demand an explanation from Venom about moving into the MCU. But that's so unlikely as to be practically impossible, so don't expect anything mind-blowing from the threequel, especially after the failed sequel and ruined Carnage. My personal expectations for Venom 3 have fallen very low. Subscribe.